Okay, so just talk about the end of the class. So this is today. So the homework is due on Thursday, and then we'll give a new homework set on Thursday, and it'll be due on Tuesday. So the next homework is kind of short. It's not the full thing. So you have to do that because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So if you have any questions about it, make sure to maybe I'll release it today or tomorrow, so you can have a look at it before you talk to your T's and section. So we'll send it a little earlier, that way you can take a look at it. It'll be due on the Tuesday. And there's Thanksgiving, there's no sections or class. And then we have the week after that, and then this is the last week of class. So we're very much hurtling toward the end of the quarter. So again, if there's any things which you feel like you don't really know, you need help with, or have questions about, please just let me know early so we can try to take care of it early so it doesn't get all bunched toward the end. I think the finals of this. Any questions about the last bit of class, schedule-wise? All right. Do people have questions about the homework? Do you have questions about homework for Thursday? Yeah? No? Okay. Let's see. I have it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so what are your questions about? You had number 2, right? So did people try it yet? Did people get number 1? Is it okay? Yeah? Number 1 is pretty straightforward. It's close to number 2. People do that one yet? No? Okay, let me talk about it a little bit. So this is kind of an extension of what we did in class. This is, remember I briefly said that when you look at 2 dimensions of issues, then things get a little more complicated. So this is just an example of that. So what we have is voters who are distributed along 2 axes. So it's skate parks and dog walks. Let's see, so skate parks and dog walks. Okay, so where are the voters located? 40% of the population prefer 0 skate parks and 0 dog walks. So 40% of the cranky taxpayers are here. 22% are hardcore skate parks for 6 skate parks and 0 dog walks. So 1, 2. So how many percent are there? 22%. Okay. 30% are yuppie golden retriever owners who prefer 0 skate parks and 6 dog walks. So these are 30%. And 8% are Buddhists who prefer 2 skate parks and 2 dog walks. Okay, so this is just where the voters are located. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So it's not just on 1 axis, but 2 axes. So these are how voter ideal points are located. Okay, so let's just do a simple thing. For example, say candidate 1 goes here, and candidate 2, I don't know, for example, picks this position. Okay. So how many votes will candidate 1 get? Remember, the assumption is that voters will choose the candidate who's closest to their own position. Okay. So how many votes? Who will vote for candidate 1? So will the yuppies vote for 1? Yeah, but they like 1 better than 2. What about the taxpayers? Well, you can kind of now you have to do that little formula, right? So who's closer for the taxpayers, 1 or 2? I think so. How far away is 2? Look, it's here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Yes. And how far away is 1 from? So it's like 1 in this direction, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 in this direction, right? So what's this distance? It's a square root of something. Yes? You remember this?
You take 1 point and the x and the y from that point and the x and the y.
Yeah. It's just the Pythagorean theorem. It's this thing here, right? The distance between these 2 things is 1 in this direction and 4 in this direction, so it's the square root of 4 squared plus 1 squared, which is square root of 17. Okay, that's this distance. Okay, so which is closer, 5 or the square root of 17? Which is, the square root of 17 is closer. So the taxpayers will vote for 1. How about the Buddhists? Who will they vote for? You can just look at it, sort of. Who's closer, 1 or 2? 1, right? So one will get whose votes? The LPs, the Buddhists, and the Chinese taxpayers. So the one will get how many votes altogether? Percentage of the vote? 78. How many will two get? Two will just get the state tax. Yeah, that's all it is. Okay. So what you do is then, so what do I say? You're going to make a prediction in this game by limiting it. So we consider the following possible strategies: 0, 0, 0, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2. 3, 0, and 3. So that's candidate 1. Candidate 2 would be is you just do this and you just make that little compilation. Okay. Did you have any specific questions about how to do it, or?
I can just,
Yeah,
I don't want
it's okay, we can do it. Is everyone okay with this? It's just computational.
to. But you don't have to just do it in one row or something.
Okay, yeah, sure. Do you want to just do the top one? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right, if they both go to 0, 0, what's the vote share going to be? For percentage of 50-50, right? Because it's going to be a tie. Okay, so if 1 is at 0, 0, and 2 is at 0, 3, so here. Okay, how many people vote for 1? Well, one definitely gets this 40% here, right? How about the LPs? Who will they vote for? 1 or 2? 1, right? Because 1 is slightly closer than 2. You don't have to do the whole theorem, you just look at it, right? How about the Buddhists? Who will they vote for? Were they for 2 or 1? 2 is slightly closer. How about the street folks? They'll vote for 2. So how many votes will 1 get? We'll get the cranky taxpayers plus the W's, so I think it's 70%, yes? Right? And then 2 will get these two together, just 30. Did other people get this? Get this? No? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's do a few more. How about, well, how about 0, 0, and 1? So say 1's, oh, and this is of course symmetric, right? So this is going to be 37. Okay, how about this one? This is where 1 is at 0, 0, and 2 is at 1, 1. Okay, if you're a Yuppie, who do you vote for, 1 or 2? Which one is closer to your position? I think 2 is, right? You want to calculate it? You can see it, right? Okay, so the Yuppies vote for 2. How about the Buddhists? Who do they vote for? 2 or 1? 2, right? How about the skate punks? 2. The cranky taxpayers vote for 1. So 1's payoff in terms of votes is 40, and 2's is 60. So it's like that. So sometimes you have to actually calculate the distances, but sometimes you can just eyeball it and it's obvious. Any questions about that? Any questions about the department? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, okay, let's see. Let's think of an interesting one. Okay, how about this one? How about, say 1 is at 0, 3 here, and then 2 is at 1, 1. So I'm going to do this one here. Okay? All right. So, how many people will vote for 1? Well, the skate punks will vote for 1, yes? So they're not using the equation. The cranky taxpayers will vote for 2, right? 2 is closer. The Yuppies will vote for 2. The only issue is the Buddhists, I guess. And you can kind of see that, but let's use the equation. The distance between, so Buddhists are 2, 2, right? So the distance between this and this is, this is going to be like 2 minus 1 squared plus 2 minus 1 squared. Right? That's the distance between 2, 2, and 1, 1. Make sense? Okay, so that's this distance, or it's just what? Square root of 2. No, it's just 1 this distance, so it's the square root of 1 plus 1. That's the square root of 2. How about this distance? Okay, so remember, we're thinking about where the Buddhists will vote for 2 or 1. So the 2 is square root of 2 away. How far is 1 away? Well, if I use the same formula, it's going to be what? 2 minus 3, and 2 minus 0. Okay, so this is just the difference between the x. So this is a 2, 2, right? This is a 3, 0. So this is just the difference between the x coordinates squared gives you the y coordinates squared. Or it's just, another way to think about it is something, this is 1, right? And this is 2, so the square root of 1 squared is 2 squared, which is square root of 5.
Could you write the theory in the x and y's, x1, x2, y1, y2?
What is
Is that?
Oh, do you want to do it the same way you did it?
Can you write the theory out in, because that's AC and then BD.
Oh, you can do it, yeah, if you want. I mean, so it's just, this is like x1, y1, x2, y2, so this will be x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. Okay, anyway, so we good? So who are the Buddhists going to vote for? Are they going to vote for 2 or 1? Who's closer? 2, right? Square root of 2 is less than square root of 5. Okay, so they're going to vote for 2. So who votes for 2 overall? I think everybody except the skate bugs, right? Vote for 2 in this case. The yuppies, the taxpayers, the Buddhists, they all vote for 2. So, and everyone else, just this only the skate bugs vote for 1. So I think it's going to be what? I think it's 30, it's 40, it's like 70 feet. Did you guys get this? Yeah. Okay, anyway, so you just do that. And obviously there's symmetry you can explain. Any questions?
For number 2, these are 8 options.
Uh-huh.
There are 8 options of I don't know what it is.
No, sir. Okay, so with A I had,
Is that considered only 8 strategies?
oh, I just made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that should be 6, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, originally I had it up here and I simplified. So just consider the same, only 6, this is 6. Okay. Questions? Questions on number 3? Okay, isn't it? Okay. So you, oh, by the way, the midterm's almost done, so you'll get it on Thursday. Okay, sorry. So you can skip that. All right, any questions? Good. We're going. Okay. Has it been 2 weeks since the midterm already? Hasn't it? Huh? Yeah, okay. We'll get it back to you as soon as we can. So we'll have it back by Thursday. Okay. All right, any other questions? Okay. So, what did we do last time? We talked about different voting procedures, and this is an example we did. We did this one where we looked at approval voting and compared to other things. So, approval voting is where you give points to the, say, for example, the top 2. In this case, we gave approval voting to the top 2 and B1. If you do top 3, who will win? I think C wins. Okay. If you do plurality, the top 1 and A wins, and finally, if you do the word count, D wins. So this is a great example because it shows, even with fair procedures which should everyone the same, the procedure influences the outcome a lot. And there's another way, you can influence the procedure, you can influence the outcome a great deal. Okay. So, there's 4 different winners. Which choice is most democratic? There's no obvious answer. There's no obviously best or most democratic voting procedure. Depending on what procedure you use, you might get quite different outcomes. So if you can choose the procedure, you have great power. So in some sense, what you actually see in political power in democracies is, of course, there's elections, but also there's a huge amount of power which goes into influencing how the decisions are made. So in the legislature, obviously, people make votes, and it's democratic. But if you could influence how the decisions are made, how the votes are taken, then you can have a huge amount of influence. And this is what's called agenda setting. So in this example, for example, if you could choose whether we do approval vote in the top 2, approval vote in the top 3, vote count, or plurality, you could actually sort of determine the outcome. So we're just going to push on this a little more. So we're going to consider how different agendas or different voting procedures can influence the outcome. So say we have a condensing cycle, a simple thing. This is we looked at last time. So candidate A, B2, B, right? And candidate B, B2, C, right? Because 1 and 3 like B better than C. Candidate C, B2, A, right? Because 2 and 3 like C better. So everything's beaten by something else in the cycle. A beats B beats C, and C beats A. Okay. All right, so say our agenda looks like this. So I'm like the parliamentarian, so we're deciding on like whether to have a final outside, inside, or I don't know, in the library or something. This is a decision. Okay, so first we voted A versus B, and then the winner goes up against C. Okay, this is my agenda. I'm saying this is how we're going to do this. It's perfectly fair. Any candidate could win, right? It's not like we're excluding anybody. Yeah? A, B, or C could win. But this is how we're going to do it. First, A versus B, and then the winner will go up against C. Okay, so how would I write this down? Like if I wanted to model this? Like a tree, exactly. Like it's kind of like in sense of game, right? Something happens in time. Okay, so first I'm going to vote on A versus B, and then we're going to, if A wins, then A goes up against C. Yeah? If B wins, then B goes up against C. So this is a little different from a game tree in the sense that this corresponds to a vote. This is not a player. This is like a group decision. It's known as a group decision. It still kind of makes sense, right? Here we choose between A and B. If A wins, then the winner goes up against C. If B wins, then the winner goes up against C. Okay. All right. So what's going to happen in this case? So remember, what's the prediction? C. Why is that? Okay. So A beats B here. And then what happens? C beats A, right? Does this make sense to you? How many people think that C will happen? Okay, but there's a little bit of an, is everyone okay with that? Okay, so here they're voting A versus B, right? So you said, who will win here? A, right? But when they're making this decision, they know the winner will go up against C, yes? Right? Does that make sense? So will they vote for A, knowing that A will eventually lose to C?
How does they vote B?
Yeah, exactly. No, right? Does that make sense? They can see the future. Everyone knows the procedure, yes? Yeah, right? So they're not going to vote. Obviously, the majority does like A over B, but the majority is not going to vote for A over B, knowing that in the end C will win. Yes? They're able to look at the future, yes? Okay, so what will happen? B will win? Why is that?
Because in the previous games, B was more likely to C. So they get a better outcome than just knowing that C's going to win. They'll vote for B so that they
Okay. Okay, so what happened? Okay, what happens here in this vote? What happens here?
C
C
wins.
wins, right? There's no future anymore. This is just the end, right? What happens here? B wins because B beats C. So this vote is not really between A and B, but between what?
B and C.
B and C, right? So
that
therefore,
pretty
who
much
wins?
includes A.
Yeah, exactly. A is exactly. Yeah, so A is not out. They voted on A, and A could have won, but they didn't. So what ends up, what they vote for here is what? B, right? And we have a way of thinking about that in general. Remember, it began with the root letter B. Remember what that procedure is called? Backward induction, exactly, right? So let's do that. You remember, A beats B, B beats C, and C beats A. Okay, so what happens here? If they make this vote, who wins? C, right? How about this vote? B. So with this vote, they're voting between A and B, but they're not really voting between A and B because they know if they vote for A, C will occur. And they know that if they vote for B, B will occur, so they're really voting between B and C. Hence, what will they vote for?
B because voting for what they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. So people often do that. They'll put an amendment in because they think that if they vote for the amendment, something that'll, so they'll basically try to. So it's not uncommon that you'll try to kill a bill by offering an amendment which you think other people will vote for, but then enough people will not vote for it. They'll hold it because they amendment. Makes sense? Okay. Anyway, so this is exciting. So if they vote for A in the first round, they want it with C. If they vote for B in the first one, they want it with B. So the majority votes for B in the first round. Okay. Make sense? So in this agenda, B occurs. Okay, B wins. Group chooses B. Okay, how about this agenda? First we vote on B versus C, then the winner goes up against A. Okay, who would win in this case? C? A? Okay, hold on, let's just do it step by step, right? Who wins here? A, right? Because A beats B? Okay. Remember A beats B, so who wins here? C, because C beats A. So finally, who happens here? If they vote for B, they'll get A in the end. If they vote for C, they'll get C in the end. So therefore, who will they vote for? C, yes. Okay, so C will win in this case. Yeah? Okay, so in our previous example, B won, but now C won. Yeah.
So why do we know that they'll vote for C as their first move?
Okay, so it's just so going back. If they reach this vote, this is the end, right? So they'll clearly vote for C over A, right? Because C beats A. Up here, they'll vote for A versus B because A beats B. So the thing here, so they're making this vote. They think if we vote for B in the end, B will be beaten by A. So if I vote for B, in the end we'll get A. Okay. If we vote for C, C will beat A, so in the end we'll get C. So here, they're really not voting between B and C, they're actually voting between A and C. Because if they know that they vote for B, it will be sacrificed in some sense to A. Make sense? Yeah.
How do we know that A voted for C?
Oh, that's from our preferences right from the very beginning. That's what it is. Huh?
How do we get that?
Oh, okay, when I write that A beats B, that simply means the majority of people like A over B, that's all it means. So it all means, so for example, if we did an A versus B vote, persons 1 and 2 like A better than B, and only person 3 likes B better than A. So in a vote between, a majority vote between A and B, 2 people will vote for A, 1 person will vote for B. So yeah, it's not like they all like A better than B, but rather, if A goes against B, majority will vote for A.
But there's also 3 would rather vote for B over A.
Yeah.
And 1 would rather vote for A over B.
Yeah.
So it's not like,
No, but there's 2 people, 1 and 2 like A better than B. And only 1 person likes B better than A. So if it were majority rule, then they would vote for A. Just because 2 people like, more people like A over B than B over B.
so if 1 is like, puts B as number 2, right? And 3 puts B as number 1.
Right.
So doesn't that equate to 1 putting A as number 1 and 2 putting A as number 2?
Okay, no.
You see
This
what I
is,
mean?
yeah, I see what you're saying. But what's going on is, we're just saying that there's a vote between A and B alone, here. So we say vote between A and B, that's it. So you can choose for A and B. Who would vote for A over B? Well, 1 would and 2 would. Yeah, 3 would vote for B. Alright. Okay, so this agenda, who won? I think it was B, right? That was the first one we looked at. And this agenda, who won? C, I think, right? This thing. Group chooses C. Do you think we can get A to win?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Okay, so that's this agenda. How about this one? First, we consider A or not. So we go A goes up against not A. So if A, we vote for A, then it's over. If we don't vote for A, then we'll choose between B and C. Okay. This is also a fair voting procedure in the sense that every outcome is possible, every candidate gets a fair shot. Okay, so in this agenda, who would win? A, I think, right? In this case, who would win between B and C? B, right? And then given that, they can either vote for A. If they vote for A, they'll get A. If they don't vote for A, then in the end, they'll get B. So who will they vote for? The majority. The majority will vote for A. In this case, A.
There's no way of making A win in like the classic game that we used before.
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so then I change it. Can I make it A win in a thing like this?
Yeah.
So remember we have A beats B, B beats C, and C beats A. Can I make A win in an agenda like this?
You choose between B or C initially.
Okay, between B and C here?
No.
How would I make A win? So okay, you have to think about who would A beat? A has to beat somebody, right? A would beat who?
B.
A has to beat B, so A has to beat, go up against B, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would we do this? A versus B here, like this.
A versus C.
A versus C, and then
The winner against B.
the winner against D. Something like this? Does make sense? Okay, between A and B, who would win? A. Here, who is? B beats C, right? So here, what would they choose? They're choosing between A and B, so who wins? A. Yeah. Okay, so this one makes A win. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. All right. So the little punchline is, if we have a cycle, depending on the agenda, we can get either A, B, or C be chosen by the majority. So obviously, if I were a dictator, I could say no vote at all. We're just going to choose A at the end. I can get my way, or I can say, we're not going to vote on C because he doesn't even have a chance. So therefore, it's only between A and B, so therefore they will win. Okay, but these agendas are not like that. These agendas are all fair in the sense that any candidate could win. Okay. However, if I change the agenda, I can make whatever I want happen. Okay? In this case, A, B, or C. So basically, if you control the agenda, you can control the outcome. So in other words, agenda setting powers can be very high. Let me give you another example. Okay, so this is between A, B, C, and D. There's 4 candidates. Okay. Do you think I can make, so I'm the agenda setter, do you think I can make D win?
Yes.
No.
No?
No,
No.
Why not?
because there's nothing to put it up against.
Yeah, exactly right. Everyone doesn't like D. D will lose to any other candidate, right? So there's no way to make D win. Yes? Make sense? Right. Okay, so we have, just like before, A beats B, B beats C, C beats A, but everybody beats D. Okay. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this agenda. First we choose a B or not, then D or not, and then C versus A. Okay? What happens in this agenda? How would I figure that out?
Well, C is better than A, so it would be C.
Yeah, so we just backwards up. So
And everybody's better than D, so that's out of the equation.
Right.
So it's between C and B,
Right.
and then that would be.
right, exactly. So here, between here, we just go to the end. C beats A, right? And now we're choosing between D and C. Of course, D doesn't win against C. D doesn't win against anyone. They'll choose not. Here they're choosing between B and not. If they go for B, they get B. If they choose not, they get C. So who will they vote for? Majority? B. So in this case, B. Can you make an agenda which ensures that A is chosen? We kind of did this already. Okay, what would be an agenda like this? So we have 4 candidates, A, B, C, and D. Okay, how would you make A win? Okay, so remember on the right side, A beats A, B beats C, C beats A, and everyone beats D. Okay, so how do I make A win?
Couldn't we just do what we?
We kind of just did it already. Yeah. But okay, how about, okay, we need A to beat something. Who will that person be? B, right? A beats B, right? So A has to go up against B. Make sense? So I can kind of do A and not, and I kind of want B to come here. How do I want B to come here?
Would B and D?
B and D, for example, yeah, B and not. Did we do this already? It seems like we just did, literally just did this. Something like that. Does that make sense? So they're choosing between C and D. Who would win here? C. Between B and not, who would win? B. Who would win here? And A. Okay, so this is what. Let's see what I have here. Okay, how might do something similar? Okay, first I had A or not, and B or not, and then C or D. So yeah, it's the same. Make sense? So this agenda makes A win. Okay, between C and D, C would win. between B and not, if they go for not, then they'll get C in the end, so they'll vote for B. Here they'll vote for A.
To see this used in authorized.
Yes. So people they think about how to structure the votes and they'll get what they want. It's not evil or anything, it's just part of the one. They choose A. Okay, can I make C win?
Yes,
How would I do that?
it's going to end up against A.
So you C has to beat something, right? So I'll put it up against A, right? Because C is A is what C beats, right? So I would do something like C not A. And then what about here? Well, I guess it's now just B and D, right? Okay. So I think that's what I have. Okay, C not A, not. So can here between B and D, who wins? B, right? Between A and not, they go not, they'll get B, so who wins here? A. Who will they choose here? C. Alright, so C is chosen.
So it's sort of like a slanted centipede.
I guess so, yeah. It's like, it does look like a substitute. Can I make D win?
No.
No, right? Because D doesn't beat anything. Like, you have to at least beat something. So if I'm the agenda setter, I have a lot of power, but I don't have infinite power. Like, I cannot make something happen which everyone hates. Right? So I can make A or B happen, and I can make C happen, but I can't make D. Right? I can't completely overturn people's will. Yeah.
Are there multiple ways to set the agenda?
Yes.
So you can have the same one?
Could you make C happen if C didn't beat A and the only thing it was beating was D?
Oh,
It would be hard,
it would be hard, right? We'll do an example like that. Okay, that's a good question, right? Okay, so clearly D cannot win, right? Because D doesn't beat anything. But what if C beats D, but D doesn't beat anything else? Do you think C could make C happen?
no? No, because it would be a two-person choice between A and B.
Yeah, it would be kind of, yeah, the answer is no, because if C beats D, you need D to beat something, right? You need C to win against D, but D needs to come out of that process somehow, right? But D's never going to win against A and B, so. Okay, we'll do an example. Anyway, again, there's no way for D to be chosen. So for D to be chosen, it has to be some other outcome from majority, but it doesn't. So the agenda setter's power is limited. It's strong, but it's not infinite, right? It's limited. It cannot ensure outcomes which do not beat anything, right? So even if I really, really want D on the Speaker of the House, if everybody in the House doesn't like D, I won't get D, even if I manipulate better. But this example. Now look, now I made D, before D was like everyone's least favorite choice. Now I made D a little better. In fact, person 3 likes D pretty much. D is 3's second best choice. In this case, do you think I can implement D?
Yes.
Yes?
It beats 2, 3.
Okay, does D, who does D beat by majority? Okay, so, no, actually, it still doesn't beat anybody, right? A beats D, B beats, so A, for example, I think everyone, 1 and 2 like A better than D, so majority likes A over D. 1 and 3 like B over D, so majority like B over D. And I think 1 and 2 like C better than D, yeah, exactly.
What if D was top choice of 3 and bottom choice of 1 and 2?
Okay, let's do that.
It'd be the same thing because it right now beats in that case it beats.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, C-A-D-B. 3 you said is what? B is the top? So D is the top, right? What did you want?
D, B, C,
D,
A.
B, C, A?
You said it would be D at 2 would be on the bottom too, so B and D would be switched on in slot 2.
What no? You want?
Yeah, D and B is switched on number 2.
Oh, also. So you want D to be on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can I implement D?
No.
No, right? Because,
It's not.
D doesn't beat anybody in the majority.
So, okay, switch B and D.
Okay, I'll switch.
That's
Okay, so now, can we get implement D?
Yes.
Yes, maybe, so what?
No,
Okay. Let's decide this using violence. No, I'm just teasing. Okay. How do I figure out whether D beats or D wins? Okay, who does, now D does beat something, D beats what? B, I think, right? Well, let's just figure out the whole thing. Who does A beat? B, right? Maybe who else? D, right? Does it beat C? No, I think C beats A, right? Okay, how about B? Who does B beat? D? No. B beats C, and B, that's it, right? B beats C. Does B beat D? No. That's it, right? B only beats C, I think, right? Okay, how about C? C beats who? A. Now I think C also beats D, right?
Yeah.
1 and 2 like C. Okay, I think now we've written it all. So there's, okay, so now, can I make D win? No? Okay, so if I want to make an agenda which makes D win, how would I do that? I have to pair D versus something, right? D and B, right? Clearly D has to be.
Make B win.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to make D versus not, and I'm going to get B out of here, right? So I need to make B win out of here. How do I do that?
B and C.
B beats C. So I can put B down here and then have C come out of here,
And C.
right?
C against A.
C against A. Yeah. Make sense? Okay, so let's just check. Between here, who wins? C and A? C. Between B and not, if they go for not, they'll get C. So this is between B and C. Who wins? B. And who wins here?
D.
D. Yeah, so this D does. Do you want to try the other ones? How about C? Can I make C win? Can you make C win? How would I do that? Huh? C beats somebody, right? So should I make C go up against D? Maybe? Yeah. And then D beats who? B and A. Is that gonna work? No, this doesn't work, right? Why? Because A is going to be B, right? So, right, A is going to come out of here, so D is going to go up against A, and A is going to beat D, right? So I need something else. So to make C win, I need C to go up against what? A, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put A here instead. Now, I want A to beat B or D, right? Yeah, so one B, it doesn't actually. Okay? Is this going to work? Yes. Between B and D, what will I choose? D. Between A and not, what will I choose? A, right? And then between C and A, we'll choose. Okay. How about A? Can you make A win? Yeah, go.
C have also beaten A.
Yeah, because A was on the.
Up here, you mean?
No, well, you know how you erase it?
Oh, I see. Oh, before we had this, right? It was C, I think it was D and E. Oh, maybe this would have worked. Let's try. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Okay, so A beats B, right? In this case. In this case, who wins? A, right? So, and now C. Oh, yeah, this would have worked too. Yeah. Yeah, this is okay too. Like example, so yeah, there's more than one agenda which makes it work. So C wins. Makes sense? Want to do A and B? Kind of straightforward. I don't know. Want to do it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if the column gets longer? Does that mean more people will be more easily?
Yes. Okay, so we'll do an example. So there's more candidates. Okay.
I thought that in Congress, it was more about what extra funds, how much
That's true too,
extra
right.
funds we can.
Yeah, right, right.
Not set up agendas.
There's a little bit of both. So yeah, so also in Congress, you actually give people like payoffs, which actually changed this, it's called log rolling, or what you say, if you vote for this, I'll vote for you, or I'll give you a little bit of extra money. But they're actually changing people's payoffs. Can the agenda setter force D? No, still does. D does not meet it. Okay, how about this example? Now, this is quick. So there's 5 candidates. Do you think I can get E to happen?
No,
E? Why not?
because it,
Yeah, E doesn't mean anything. Everything else beats E, yes? Can the agenda setter ensure E? No, because E does not beat anything. Okay, how about D? Yeah, well, everyone likes D better than E, right? So D is not like D is a complete loser, right? D will beat E in the majority.
A, C, D, E, F,
But what?
everything else beats.
everything else.
Everything else beats D, right? So can I get D to happen?
No.
All right, so I can't get E because E doesn't beat anything. So obviously E will never win an election. Okay? E will never win any vote at all. D can win a vote against E, but can I make D win the whole thing? No, right? Because D beats E, but E doesn't beat anything else. Yes, does that make sense?
So if the letter isn't at the top, it can't get.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It beats B.
What?
A, but I thought it was going to be between A and B, but it isn't, because A beats B.
Okay, well, let's figure it out. First of all, the first thing, it's not so much a winner at the very top, although
Oh,
you're
you can have the D on like the second.
yeah, exactly right, on exactly right. So for example, say D were the second one for everybody, it would actually be a conversation winner, it would beat every single other thing. Okay, so how about the other things? Can I get A, B, or C?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
would,
How would I do A? A would go up against. Okay, so this A goes up against who? B, right? B goes up against
D.
D, say, and then D goes up against E, but we need to put C in there, right? You kind of forgot about C. So you have to get rid of C, because A really doesn't never want to go up against C, right? Because C is the only thing which beats A. And so, if you want A to happen, you need to get C to be beaten by somebody. Who will that person be? B, right? Exactly. So you need B to beat C, like this, right? And then I think now we need to do D. Okay. So between D and E, who will win?
D.
D. Between C and D, who will win?
C.
C. And then B beats C and A. Make sense? Okay. Go on. So now D does beat something, D beats E, whoever, okay. E doesn't beat B. All right, so, I just showed you, what's the general pattern here? So one guess was, you can enforce anything which is somebody's top choice, but then we realized that wasn't quite true, right? Because, for example, if D were everyone's second choice, that could be the conversation. So what is the general pattern? What can the agenda setter implement in general?
it has to be something circular, where the bottom has to be something at the top.
Yeah, it has to do with the circularity of the whole thing, right? If there was no circularity, there'd be a condensate winner, which means who would win in any agenda that there's a condensate winner? So you say E is a condensate winner. Can I make any agenda which does not make E the winner?
No.
No, right, because E beats literally everything else, okay? So if there's a condensate winner, obviously the agenda does not matter, okay? So it only matters if there's a cycle, okay? What things can I implement by moving around the agenda? So obviously I can't implement things which do not beat anything, right? Which are beat by everything. D beats E, but I cannot implement D. What can I implement?
This is that win majority?
Huh?
That win like the majority?
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, D beats E by majority. You mean,
No, I mean like they have to beat at least like 2 out of the 3.
2 out of 3, what I mean?
No, maybe I'm.
No, I mean, I think kind of get what you're saying, right?
Because D couldn't.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
The majority of the candidates, you mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, E doesn't beat anybody, D only beats one of the candidates.
Yeah.
Right. But for example, how many candidates, A, I think, how many does A beat? I think A only beats 2 other people, right?
Yeah.
A beats B, and D. Oh, A beats B, D, and E. Okay, that's right. So A beats 3 people. I guess A, B, and C all beat 3 people. So that guess is not too bad. But that's not really,
Yeah.
that's not too good. Yeah.
In this case, then, if you could introduce D and E to line the water, so when you want to track.
Okay, yeah, but in this case, and E is a total non-issue because no one likes E. D is kind of also non-issue because D, the only thing D beats is E, so there's no way for D to ever get rid of A, B, or C. Right? So it's kind of A, B, and C are like up here, and D, and you're kind of, yeah.
So you couldn't use them as manipulation.
Right, exactly right. You can only use something as a manipulator if it kind of gets you something, right? If it beats something else, yes. Okay, so let's think about it. What is the set of things you could implement? So I can't implement E, I can't implement D,
A, B, or C.
A, B, or C, but like, can I make a general kind of statement about that?
It's circular, so you could say you could manipulate by agendas.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right. Trying to get. Okay. If I can't beat anything, obviously I can't make that happen. If I can beat only one thing, D only beats E, obviously I can't get D. How about if C beats D and E, but C does not beat anything else? And obviously I'm not going to get that C to get work either. Does that make sense to you? So in order to be implementable, what has to happen?
There has to be a condensate cycle.
Yes, exactly. It has to be a cycle, but not only that, the cycle has to include what? Like the cycle just, so let's say I have 30 candidates, can the cycle just be like 4 or 5 we'll say, like a little cycle down here.
Only if it's at the top.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be a cycle, plus that cycle has to basically include everybody. Does that make sense? It's in other words, here's the punchline. For the agenda setter to be able to ensure an outcome, that outcome must beat another, which beats another, which beats another, etc., until all outcomes are reached. So, in other words, if you want to, the set of things you can implement as the agenda setter are exactly those things which beat something else, which beats something else, which beats something else, etc., until everyone's there. Right? Because if you can't beat everybody in that line, that means that you can't get that to win. Right? So so A has to be B, which B, C, you have to make one of those lines which everyone's in. Make sense? Okay. Let me give an example of this. So here the agenda setter can share you see. So we have this picture. This is kind of like what people are talking about. This is like a cycle. We have a cycle here. And then E is at the bottom, which means that, so if we were at E, we'd move to D, because the majority would go for D over E. And from D, all these things would be D, so from D we'd move to this group here. But from here, there's this cycle. Okay, so here D beats C, and A, B, and C all beat D. And so we actually kind of talked about this. This is like a cycle, but as much as any cycle, it's the one at the top. Okay, so the name of this is the. So given people's preferences, we say that an outcome is in the top cycle if it can beat another outcome, which beats another outcome, and so forth until all outcomes are beaten in sequence. Okay. So I like to think about this like in terms of like college football or something. If obviously there's one team which can beat every other team in the nation, is that the best team? Yes, obviously. Okay, however, that rarely happens. What ends up happening is there's kind of like a top group where each of them can beat somebody else in that group, but that group can beat anyone else outside the group. You see what I'm saying? Right? So for example, like if these people in the top group are not undefeated, but they can beat somebody, etc., so everyone wins. Okay? So that's what it means to be in the top cycle. Yeah, if there's a Condorcet winner, what would be the top cycle? If there's a Condorcet winner, what would the top cycle be? Well, if there's a Condorcet winner, that means that what? Let's say G is a Condorcet winner, that means what? G can beat everything. Right? Condorcet winner means you can beat every other thing by the majority. Okay, so if there's a Condorcet winner, what is the top cycle? There's no cycle, it's just literally one thing. Yeah? So if G is the Condorcet winner, it is the top cycle. That's just that one thing. Make sense? Okay. if the outcome is the top cycle, then the agenda setter can ensure that it will be chosen. So the top cycle is exactly the set of things which the setter has power over. That's exactly the limitations and scope of the agenda setter. If an outcome is not the top cycle, then it will never be chosen regardless of the agenda. So you candidate might be able to beat lots of other ones, but if it can't beat all of them in a sequence, you can't take it. How about this example here? Yeah. What's going on here? What do you think if you're the agenda setter you get into them? Okay, kind of, well, let's just simplify a little bit. Okay, so let's just, the complication we're about is kind of a lot of data to absorb. So let's just think about it. Who does A beat? Between A and B, who wins? I think what? B beats A, right? Because 2 and 3 like B better than A, so B beats A. Huh? Sorry?
All three of them like,
All three of what?
so B beats A and all three don't.
Oh, I see, I'm sorry, yeah. Oh, everyone likes B there. So yeah, B beats A, yeah. Okay, how about A versus C?
C beats A.
C beats A in 1 and 2. Yeah. Okay, so C beats A. D and A. D beats A. Versus 2 and 3 like D better than A. How about E and A? E beats A, right? 2 and 3 like E better than A. How about F and A? F beats A? Yeah, I think so. Well, so everything beats A, right? So that's right, okay. How about between B and C?
B beats C.
B beats C, 1 and 3 like B better than C. How about B and D? B beats D, 1 and 2 like B better than D. B and E. B beats C, 1 and 3 like B better than E. B and F. No, F beats B there. Okay, now I did C and A, C and B. C and D. Let me see. I think C beats D, right?
Yes.
1 and 2 there. C and E.
E beats C.
E beats C, 2 and 3. C and F. C beats F. Okay, D and A, D and B, D and C. D and E. Which between D and E? E beats D, right? 1 and 2 like E. E beats D. And I think the final one is just E and F. I think F beats E. Okay, so what's the top cycle? Okay, so clearly A is not in the top cycle, right? What about D? No, because D beats A, but A doesn't beat anything, so D is not in the top cycle. How about B? How about B, C, how about B? Can I make a thing which goes from C? So top cycle means I can make a sequence which goes from B beats something, which beats something, which beats something, so the whole thing is in there. So B beats, who would I have to do? B beats what? C, which beats E? Well, C doesn't beat E either. C beats F, right? And F beats E, which beats D, which beats what? A. Okay, so I can make a sequence where B is at the top and each person beats the next one in sequence. So is B in the top cycle?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What would the agenda which makes B win look like?
Could you go backwards from A
You know,
and
just
B?
exactly, I just literally just do this again, right? So I go backwards, A and D up here, so A and S, and then put E and D, right? Because E would be A and D. Yep. Now F beats E. Now, C beats F.
That is important because it's leading people like down a rabbit hole. It should be like all of them chosen at once.
Well, you could do that, I mean, you could do like a board account or something like that. But this is a procedure, like, and it is possible for me to win, it's not complete, right? You could say maybe somebody else should get that first, but this agenda does
We're gonna
implement
vote
B.
it out.
Okay. Alright. Anyway, B is the top cycle, and B does, we can make B win. How about C? Is C in the top cycle? How do I make C and B in the top cycle? C beats D, which beats what? A, which beats? Oh, I can't do that, right? That's not gonna work. So I have to get that one in there, right? C beats what? F, which beats E, right? Which beats then D and A, right? Just like before. Yep.
You have to put B in there.
Oh, I put B. You want E to beat B? No, hold on, hold on.
Only F.
Only F is yes, okay. So C, F, B, and then what? E, D, A. Okay, so C is the top cycle.
So, we have EDA at the last, can we put E in the front? Well, we can put E in.
Let's think about it. Okay, let's do, how about E? Can I make E work?
E beats A or C. Oh, E before C and just go down the different.
Okay, E beats what?
C beats F, beats B, beats D, beats
That's right, E beats C, C beats F, F beats B, B beats D. Oh, B doesn't beat D.
B doesn't beat D.
I don't think so. Oh, it does already.
It has to
Sorry,
be
yeah, B beats D,
because
sorry.
E-
I got it, yeah, B beats D. Does this work? Yes, it does. Okay. How about D? Let me make D in the top cycle. No, right, D beats A, but then where's? That's it. Okay, so in this case, what is the top cycle? Oh, we haven't tried F, so we haven't tried F. F. Can I make F? F beats
B.
B, which beats C.
Something.
We need to get E in there, so I need to get. C beats what?
B beats E.
Sorry?
Yeah, let's do B.
Would that be B beats E?
What up?
B beats E, I think.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So this is not gonna work because I can get the E in here, right?
Yeah.
So I need to put an E like this. E beats E, right? And then we have what? E beats C, which beats
D.
D, which beats A. Okay, so, all right. I think we're done. What is the top cycle in this case? B, C, E, F. Yeah. If I'm the agenda setter, I can make B, C, E, or F happen. I can make B or E. So, this is, I'm just redoing it. So, A beats nothing, B beats A, C, D, E. C beats A, D, and F. E beats A, E beats E, C, and D. F beats A, B, D, and E. Are there any questions where this comes from? Just super quick. Okay. So this is a picture we have here. So A is at the bottom, A doesn't beat anybody. D beats A, not anyone else. And this cycle is kind of like a cycle of the top four. They kind of, each one is beaten by somebody else in the cycle, but each one can beat all the others in some sequence. Yeah. So this is a called top cycle.
Are we required to allow the arrows to demonstrate that if we're doing this in homework or?
Oh, this is really just for, you know, so you can see it in your mind. But you can do it this way too, and say, this is a top cycle because I can create that sequence. So you get the top cycles, F, C, D, and E. How about this one? Who do you think, what's the top cycle here? Yes. Kind of like a little bit of this. Yeah, let's just do computation. So who does A beat? Sorry, between A and B, who wins? A, right? Between A and C, A wins. Between A and D, I think D wins, right? No, wait, oh, you're right, A wins, yeah, wins. Between A and E, A, yeah. A and F,
F,
F, yeah. Okay, between B and C,
B,
B beats C, yes, thank you. B and D, D beats B and E, E wins, right? E beats E. B and F, F, yeah. Okay, between C and D, I think D beats C, right?
yes,
Between C and E,
C,
C beats E. C and F,
F,
F beats. Okay, between D and E,
D,
D wins. Between D and F,
D,
D. Finally, between E and F,
F,
F beats. Okay, so you can almost see here, what's the type cycle going to be in this case? A, D, and F. Yeah. So for example, B beats C, C beats E, E beats B, so you're kind of stuck in the cycle on the bottom. You can never get those guys to kind of beat the other top people in A, D, F group. Make sense?
do we call that a bottom cycle?
You gotta be A bonds. We're not.
Or is that not really in use?
It's not really used. Because there could be many bottom cycles, right, in general. So it's not, this is so. Anyway, what does the picture look like? This is kind of like A, D, and F are like the top teams. They're not unbeaten, but so each one of them is beaten by somebody else, yes? Okay, but they can beat somebody who beats somebody who beats somebody who everyone else. So that, so those top teams can beat somebody who beats somebody, so that everyone else can beat. See what I'm saying? Okay, so if you're in the lower cycle, you can beat somebody, and that person can beat somebody, and that person can beat somebody, etc. too. But you never can beat everybody. See what I'm saying? Okay, so this is the picture here. A, D, and F are on the top cycle, and we have this kind of bottom cycle. Makes sense? So if I'm the Jenna setter, I can get E, A, D, or F, but I cannot implement C, E, or B. Okay. Top cycle is A, D, F. Yeah.
And then do we, how do you think that just from looking at the preferences really quickly?
Oh, like looking at the table we made?
Or no, at the
Looking
thing
at
you
this?
set up?
Okay, so remember the definition, if something's on the top cycle, you can create that sequence. So, strictly speaking, like, here it's easy to see just because there's no, it's pretty clear that B, C, and E are going to be part of that, right? But strictly speaking, you have to go and just check, like, A, can I create that sequence? Yeah, you have to do it. Yeah.
If there are multiple winners, can you use the same logic to force someone to lose?
Yes, I think so. Well, I mean, in this case, for example, this sequence made D win, and that forces C to lose. So, in this case, this is the first, well, in this case, let's just do it. If I want to make A win, how would I do it in this case? So A's in the top cycle, how do I make A win? So A has to go up against who?
You want it to win or lose?
I want it to win. Oh, okay, we'll do A win, then A lose. Okay, so how do I make A win? A has to go up against who?
C,
Well, C, but C is kind of not really an issue, right? The real person, if you're worried about, if you want to make A win, the person you really have to be concerned about is what?
C,
Actually, no, right? F, right? Actually, F is the only person who beats A, right? So to make A win, you have to get rid of F somehow. Yeah?
you have to put them
So
against
F-
whoever beats F.
Exactly right. You have to put F against whoever beats F, which is who?
D,
D, right? Okay, so I'm going to go A up against D, right? And then I want D to go up against F. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the rest of it doesn't really matter, right? Because those are B, C, and D. So in this case, I think C beats E, B beats C, F beats B. Now D beats F, right? Then A beats D.
that's the way you get A, B,
But let's say you want someone in the bottom cycle, because there's say 4 winners.
Okay,
So you want to influence the bottom cycle so that somebody wins of the bottom cycle, because 4 people are going to win.
okay.
Everybody in the top cycle wins, and one of the bottom.
Okay, if we have something like this. If you have an agenda which includes everybody, there's no way to make D win. Nothing you can do.
But if only one person loses, you're talking about winners. I
Uh-huh.
would force 2 people out of the losers, but to have the third person in the bottom cycle win that bottom cycle because there's 4 winners. And they'll be included in the winner.
Okay, so now, I'm not so, okay,
It's
so,
acceptable if A, B, and F are gonna win.
right,
But one of the bottom cycle is gonna be included in the 4 winners of the whole thing. So can you also get rid of 2 of the bottom cycles, but ensure that the third one wins?
okay, in this case, there's no way I can make C, E, or B win in an agenda, okay? Which I think what you're,
Even with 4 winners.
okay, so whether there's 3 or 4 winners is endogenous, I'm not, right? So, what I can say is the following, if I can make an agenda which A wins, I can make an agenda which D wins, I can make an agenda which F wins. I cannot make an agenda which C wins, okay? In this example. Okay, why? Because C beats E, and E beats B, but I can't get C to beat anybody in here. Okay? I'm not sure if I'm answering your question.
You know that A, D, and F are gonna all win,
Uh-huh.
but there are 4 winners, A, D, F, and.
No, but why are there 4 winners?
Huh?
Why are there
That's
4
the
winners?
game.
That's just the game
That's
field.
the game.
Oh,
So somebody in the bottom cycle is gonna be included in the set of 4 winners.
but how, what's the procedure for selecting the 4 winners? That's my question.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
So we're.
Okay, hold on.
To fill the first slot of
So in each of these procedures, we're just selecting one winner in this agenda, right? So we selected an agenda where A won, period. So like you might find another agenda in which, like, I mean, a purpose is to select 4, like a city council or something like that, like a point system or something. So that would be a different kind of question. But I mean, you could ask it, like, for example, that would be an interesting question, like, could you, like, find, for example, find board account points to do this? Like, you could do the board account, see if that works. Some sort of approval voting system or something first. So it's conceivable that what you're saying could happen, just in that kind of situation. So yeah, here we're just asking what, so in this case, there's only one winner in any given agenda, but I guess what you're asking is, if I had an agenda in which there were 4 winners, can I get somebody in the bottom cycle to win? That's possible.
I think you would have to because there's only 3 in the top.
Yeah, exactly, it's somebody,
So
right. Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah,
that's
right,
not-
right.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
That
we're not
would
gonna
be
do that.
interesting to look at which one of the losers get that slot.
But anyway, that idea is very much in the same thrust of this whole thing, which is that in general, there's a fair amount of freedom. I mean, if you change the agenda, you can have a lot of latitude in what, in who wins. Okay. So that's like, for example, why the Speaker of the House is a very powerful position, is because you can schedule which votes go over.
Is this an important skill that we look for, that they look for when they're choosing?
I would imagine, yeah. Well, a lot of it is a little bit different than this. A lot of it is knowing what people's preferences are, right? So your ability to hear, everyone knows everyone's preferences, but also the legislature you might not know, right? And you might not, your ability to kind of see who's that person going to vote for if I do this amendment, that's also kind of important.
So it's the leadership skills that we always thought
Yeah, yeah.
it was.
Okay, let's go back. Say A drops out. So this is my example. Say A drops out. Who benefits by A dropping out? F. Why?
Because
Can't be
he-
seen.
Because if A drops out, then hold on.
So D benefits.
F beats A, right? Going from A will go to F, right?
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah. So if A drops out, who wins? Who benefits? Not F, but right. A is the only thing that beats D. Like if you look here, D beats everyone but A. Yeah. So if A drops out, D wins because A is the only thing which beats D. Right? A is the only possible way to go from D to something else. And so if A drops out, what is the top cycle? D, is it D and F? No, it's just plain old D, right? Why? If A drops out, why is D the top cycle?
because you have to.
Yeah, it can beat everyone else, D's now the counter-state winner, yeah? Make sense? Okay, so if A drops out, who really wins is D. Who really loses if A drops out? F, why?
Because it's only,
Yeah, because now F is powerless against D, right? Before F could use A to get at D, right? Since A was B and D, F could use A, and F be A, F could use A to solve D. But now once A is on, F can't do this. Okay, so once A is gone, if A drops out, okay, which candidate gains the most, which loses the most? We have this picture. Now there's no more top cycle, there's now just one guy in the top cycle, D. Okay. And in fact, D is going to become zero.
Why they have to do stuff.
This is true for all politics. It's not just politics. Anyway, so yeah, these are kind of, these in this case is the conversation and D top cycle always. Okay? Any questions? Okay. All right. Oh, so what is the most effective in cell forward power?
Persuasion.
Okay, it could be persuasion. I'm going to argue, so obviously a kind of power is to say, do what I say, otherwise I want you to do it. You know, that's basically coercion or something. You can change people's preferences. But, so you can force someone to get something against their will. However, it's more effective to kind of structure the situation so what they want to do, so they want to do what you want to do. In other words, instead of going against their will, try to harness their will, try to structure the situation so that when they do what they want to do, they get something that you want. Okay? And that's exactly this agenda setting. In other words, use their will instead of going against them. This is agenda setting. So if you're very thoughtful about this, I think that agenda setting, this is the most effective in selling forward power. Okay? All right, okay. See you next time.
For number 2, I didn't do that like graph. I just did the equation for all of them. But I got different answers from you. So am I setting up the equation right? Like you do the preferred, or you do like the. Go to the problem. Okay, here's the problem. So I did like 6. Okay, so I'm saying that the point is 0, 0. So I did 6, 0, 0, 6, 2, 0, or 2, 2, and 0, 0. That's how you set it up, right? And then I just do that